Hello and welcome back to another short video, this time an update on the Dawntrail official benchmark. As you may or may not know, the Dawntrail benchmark came out not long ago, and with it came quite a lot of awesome stuff. A lot of people were really excited to see, their characters and what they would presumably look like in Dawntrail expansion. Now, whilst that for the most part was accurate, there were several issues with the benchmark that were addressed, and it got to the point where Yoshi P and the team decided that enough is enough. They're going to recreate the benchmark essentially to fix any of the glaring issues that people had via the feedback given. These were most notably to the lighting system within the benchmark itself, showing unfair representations of your character, so that when you created a character in character creation and then suddenly ran the benchmark trailer with that character, it looked completely different. This was going to such extreme lengths of hair being completely different colors than you set it. So you set your hair as red and suddenly you were rose blonde in the actual trailer footage. So obviously there were some issues. These are issues that have kind of lasted in the entirety of Final Fantasy XIV itself in the stock character creator. This is something that is being changed with Dawntrail, and they were hard at work sort of working on Dawntrail and working it up to the release and getting things finalized, but the benchmark missed that opportunity supposedly to make those adjustments. So they basically had a bit of a tough time releasing a benchmark to represent in a fairest way possible what Dawntrail would look like. So they made the decision to announce that they're going to put another update of the benchmark out instead of the one we have currently, and that, rest assured, people's concerns and feedback given should be reflected in some of those changes, if not all of them. Now, we have some updates then today, so let's read through this. Basically, just before we do read through this, if you're interested, just for the main information, the benchmark replacement is scheduled for May the 23rd. Just to let you know, if that's all you were interested in, you can expect the new benchmark then. Hello everyone, says Yoshi P, producer and director of Final Fantasy XIV. We recently announced an update for the Dawntrail benchmark, and since then we've identified the areas in need of adjustments, as well as the estimated workload and schedule, which I would like to share in this follow-up. After careful examination of the feedback from all regions, we are now working on improvements, adjustments, and bug fixes. We're making these refinements not only in preparation for Dawntrail's release, but also to apply as many of the updates as possible to the benchmark. So they've got numbered points here. Number 1, review and reconfiguration of character creation's environmental parameters. So he says, the character creator menu's various environmental parameters, such as lighting, positioning of light sources, weather, etc., will be reconfigured to match the upcoming first round of graphical updates. We completed the bulk of this on Saturday, the 27th of April, which several of our lead artists are currently reviewing and fine-tuning. Once they're finished, I'll be conducting my final inspections after Friday, May the 3rd. The various revisions of environmental parameters will be applied to not only the benchmark, but the game itself from Dawntrail onwards as well. Key point there is that any changes to character creation they're doing here for the benchmark, this applies to the game. So if you wanted to go and reconfigure your character, especially with the new graphical changes, you will be able to do so as soon as Dawntrail comes out in that early access period with those new changes, and your character should look obviously a lot more like what you've created in the character creator. So that's awesome news. So that's point 1. Point 2, addressing feedback and issues related to certain data and processes. So he says, we compiled a list of feedback from all regions and categorized the points as bugs, data issues, or sections in need of further attention. We then decided a direction for each point, which our character artists and rendering programmers are now correcting and adjusting accordingly. Concurrently, several of our lead artists are reviewing and fine-tuning the finished data. The development team's tasks are scheduled to be completed on Wednesday, 15th of May, and my final data review will take place on the 16th of May, which is a Thursday, where I will be thoroughly communicating anything that catches my attention on the spot for immediate correction. Given the immense amount of data in need of review, the QA team's final inspection will require about another 5 business days after development team has finished their part. So this is really quite detailed. I love how transparent Yoshi P and the team are being, obviously over there at Creative Business Unit 3. It is really nice to see. that they are focused on providing the best experience possible for, you know, people who play their game, and giving you a fair and understanding of the processes that need to be put into place before you can get a hold of that benchmark. Some people expected the benchmark to be instantly fixed. That was never going to be the case. This is not how things work. If you do it properly, it takes time. So I'm personally very happy to get this insider information here, and it's nice that they're doing proper testing, because the real front end of Final Fantasy XIV is character creation and making your character how you want it to be, because a lot of people associate with that, and you're going to be spending a lot of time looking at them, even if it's from the back of them, right? So it's important to get it right, and I love the fact that they're focusing so heavily on that. And I also love the fact that he gets like that moment where they can have immediate changes on the spot there. Really, really cool development like flow, in my opinion. I just thought that was really cool. And the third point, expected release timing for the updated Dawntrail benchmark. The tasks outlined in points 1 and 2 are already underway, but because we are handling a significant amount of data to address as much of your feedback as possible, will require some time before the updated benchmark is ready for release. The replacement of the benchmark is currently scheduled for May the 23rd, or later during that week, but we are not yet able to confirm a definite date. My apologies for this. So yeah, likely 23rd, but could be, you know, 24th, maybe 25th, right? We'll see. But I'm fairly confident they can knock this one out of the park, personally. Having said that, he says our players graciously provided a tremendous amount of feedback with screenshots, which helped us quickly determine our direction for fixes and adjustments, as well as identify points to address. We hope to return this favor by addressing as many points as possible, and I would appreciate it if you could bear with us a while longer as we solidify a release date for the updated benchmark. Awesome sauce. The fact that they're taking all of those pictures that people have sent, lots of people have provided feedback. Again, this is something that affects everybody in the game, not just a small section of people. So this is, I could imagine the amount of feedback they've got from this. But there are quite a few issues in character creation, ears being like gaps between them, hair gaps between that and the heads, things like that, or, you know, necklines, seams showing. All of that stuff should be fixed in theory. So hopefully they're going to address as many of those issues as possible. And I can't wait to see what they do on the 23rd of May or beyond that, right? I can't wait to get my hands on that again and see what it looks like. Create another female Hrothgar, see what changes they've made. Our reviews and finishing touches, he says, for release a version of Dawntrail are going smoothly. And while they are being carried out in tandem with the additional tasks for the graphical update mentioned above, rest assured that our development, operations and QA teams and I are collectively giving our all. In brackets here, ideally I would have liked to share some screenshots of the review process, but as you can imagine, I was unfortunately short on time. That's understandable, isn't it? I'll be sure to report back once we confirm further details about our progress and a release date for our updated benchmark. Yoshi P, producer and director of Final Fantasy XIV. So yeah, I honestly think take as much time as possible, get it done right the first time so that we don't have to, you know, have as many issues going forward. I think it is probably the most important thing about Final Fantasy XIV from the offset. At least it's the first thing you see when you boot the game up, so it's a long time coming. I'm just really happy that the terrible lighting from a character creator is going bye-bye. It's something that wasn't terrible in A Realm Reborn, right? A lot of this is based on A Realm Reborn, and then going forward, the game has changed a lot since A Realm Reborn, especially with a new graphical update. So any of those things that were passable before now stick out like a sore thumb. So I'm so glad that they're taking this extra initiative to make the game even better for new players and returning players like myself, who have played this game far too long and enjoyed every minute of it. Anyway, let me know what you think about this. Is this enough? What sort of things would you like to see from Square Enix? Are you happy with these updates? I suppose time will tell. More update information when we get the benchmark, and we'll do a full deep dive into it and see what changes. Considering I still have the benchmark installed from last time, we could probably do some side-by-side comparisons. That would be good. Anyway, let me know what you think, and I'll see you all next time. Have a good day. Bye-bye.